Hey all, welcome to the CIOPCC and this week's favorite collection. As we've talked about for the last couple of weeks for October, we're trying to stick with the horror theme, but this is particularly hard with favorite collections, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it after this week. I've covered everything because I didn't think about how I should save horror stuff for October, and I went and covered Buffy and Angel and Universal Monsters and Zombies and Ash and Evil Dead, and I've covered so much of it that it's going to make it difficult. I mean, even Ghostbusters and Gremlins could have been in here, but those have already been covered too. So I'm going to do one that is a pretty big collection here. It's all these 7 and 8, 9-inch figures from various companies that are all part of a horror theme. They're all in the same section here, so it'll be easy to do. Let's start out with some boxed Mezco Attack of the Living Dead. Back when we never got any zombies at all, Mezco did some of these. I'll show you what one of the loose ones looks like. These were exclusives that they did for the con. They glow in the dark and are pretty cool. There's also a McFarland King Kong right here with Fay Ray, a classic. And as we come down around here on the bottom, we're going to get some stuff from Diamond Select. When you open that up, of course, there's Spot inside. Those of you who picked up that series, see, there's Spot in there. Michael Myers and the Good Doctor in that playset. Got some Thing figures, of course. Most of it's the recent stuff, but back there is one from Soda, right? And that's the playset here with the dogs. This is from Soda. Oh, there's some more of the now Plaing figures, as well as the latest NECA version too there and back all together. Sorry. Rasputin. McFarland did some lovely horror figures in this scale. Let's see as we come down this way. This is Bruce the Shark. Problem when you do a shark, even if it is supposed to be Bruce, it just looks like a shark. That's the premium format that was done by Sideshow. And back there we have some of the terrific lines. Oh, the Cult Classics, for example. That's the Leatherface from Cult Classics and the Jigsaw Killer. Now Playing the Killer Clowns. Hopefully we'll get some nice versions coming soon. This is the McFarland Monsters playset with the human face. They only did a few of these. This was a variant. You know how he loves variants. Silent Screamers. There's, this was Aztec Toys. This was before they became Mezco. And this is one of that wave. You're going to see the rest of it loose here in a minute. And there's one that I forgot to talk about. Medieval Ash. When I did my Ash favorite collection, he kind of got skipped. So if we come up here to the second row, we're going to see that we have some other odds and ends. There's a Godzilla down there in the end. But we start off with the Stranger Things collection from McFarland. I wish they'd gone further with this line. I did not pick up any of the 3-0 stuff in the 6 scale. But I didn't love the line. I didn't love it that much. But I certainly love it enough to pick up this series by McFarland. And they did a nice job. I just wish they would have continued. And we've gotten some more of the characters. Some more Walking Dead. And I mentioned Silent Screamers. Here are the rest of that line. Loose, including Nosferatu. Some more McFarlane. And back there we have 2 of the figures from Legend. Oh, a little Sleepy Hollow magic. And back there. That is a prototype of the top of this, the sword. Hilt of the sword that was done for the show. I think that was a Master Replica's sword. And that is a resin prototype, actually, for the hilt. Marvel did a few of the monsters. And then we finish off with the rest of those Stranger Things characters. I picked up Geppetto and put him over here. He seemed like he fit in nicely with Edward Scissorhands. Got some space on this shelf, which is always a good thing. Before we get into some more of the NECA stuff, including the very recent. I mentioned Sleepy Hollow. I just thought I'd mention up there on top is also the Headless Horseman riding the horse, still boxed. That's another really good line from McFarland. Now we're going to talk a little bit more about some of these. I showed you the one playset down below with the human face. These are the McFarland playsets. Creature, Phantom, And back is one of the Frankensteins. When we come around here, you're going to see some mummy action, some werewolf action, a little vampire stuff, as well as Hunchback here at the end. Across the top, we get back into some more of the 7-inch stuff. Number of different companies. Lots of different lines. I'm a big fan, there's Wishmaster. I'm a big fan whenever you can get a lot of different licenses. So you're not going to see 1,200 different Freddies, because I don't need all that many Freddies. I'm not that much of just a Freddy fan. But when I can get a bunch of different figures from a bunch of different movies and comics like Bob the Goon here, that's all the better. And that's why I love things like now Plaing and Cult Classics, Movie Maniacs so much. They gave us so many of these one-off or two-off characters that we wouldn't have otherwise got. Now on the bottom of the shelf, other than Beetlejuice, who fits in with this particular favorite collection, we also have some more of the Universal Monsters. You can see I got some space there. That's where I'm moving those over. The NECA ones are going to be grouped there together. Haven't quite moved them all. Oh, I told you I would show you an Attack of the Living Dead loose. There's Earl, non-glow-in-the-dark version that Mezco did. These are some larger, like 9-inch figures. Jason and Leatherface and Jack the Ripper there in the middle that Mezco did, along with their more modern Wolfman movie license. So now let's move up to another shelf. Let's see here. We got some other taller stuff. We got a Living Dead doll of the Creature. Most importantly, though, we have a vampire and a werewolf from Dracula. And as we come around, you're going to see we have a whole bunch on this shelf as well. Starting with some Munsters. Diamond Select Toy did these based on the original show. And of course, now we're getting NECA's doing the ones based on that new take. You can see Grandpa there. Now I have to have at least one version of characters like Freddy and Michael. And I do pick up a couple here and there when they're different and unique enough. But again, like I said, you're not going to see nothing but some Lost Boys there in the middle, and we're back to Munsters. Original show Munsters. Uncle Gilbert, probably my favorite. And yes, there's the new Herman mixed in there. There's the other Killer Clowns from Outer Space figure. I recently picked up that Leatherface because I realized I didn't have a fully plastic Leatherface, fully sculpted Leatherface in this size, which seemed wrong. Some Shaun of the Dead, and that finishes up right there with some terrific Bubba Hotep. I mean, come on, Bubba Hotep. How can you pass on having Bubba Hotep figures? Now, I will mention, when I was talking about those, I kind of forgot to mention down here on the end that I also have Pennywise hiding back there behind the saw puppet. That reminds me that I probably should mention the Pennywise is over here on this side. Since they're by themselves pretty much, but they're all in this theme. They've done plenty. NECA has really cranked them out on that scale. We also have some Chuckies and some Sams to go with them. So I think that's it for that sort of 7 to 9 inch scale horror. That's my favorite collection for this week. Hopefully you're doing well coming up to Halloween and getting ready with your costume. Until Friday when we do a What's New acquisition report. You have a great week.